Hi guys, I'm Avi.
And I'm Terry.
We're a dad
and daughter, and we're watching, reviewing, and ranking every Marvel Cinematic Universe movie leading up to Avengers Endgame. In this episode, Avi and I will be discussing 2017's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. It was directed by James Gunn, stars Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, Bradley Cooper, Vin Diesel, and Kurt Russell. It had a budget of $200 million and had a box office of $864 million. Avi, who's your favorite character in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2?
Gamora.
How come?
Because she's the one who realized something was up.
Oh.
Like, even before anyone said anything.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, I think something's wrong with this guy.
Yeah, with ego.
Even though in the beginning, she's the one who wanted to go there.
Yeah, it's interesting because at first she's like telling Star-Lord was really reluctant to go, and she was like, no, this could be your family, Peter, this could be what you're looking for, and then she was the one who was like, something's up here. Interesting.
Yeah.
What'd you think about the sister relationship with her and Nebula?
I thought that was very cute.
Yeah.
And kind of sad when she goes, all I wanted was a sister.
Yeah, and she's like, all you wanted to do was survive. Or Nebula's like, Gamora says, all I was trying to do was survive. And Nebula's like, all I was trying to do was have a sister, or whatever.
Yeah, all I wanted was a sister.
Yeah, that's pretty sad.
Yeah.
And I think Nebula's an interesting character because I think, and I'd have to look back at our notes, she was my least favorite character in Guardians 1, but I liked her more in this one. And
What's the actor's name?
Karen Gillan. She was in Doctor Who. She was one of Doctor Who's companions. My favorite character was Drax in this. It was almost as if they realized that Dave Bautista is really funny. It's kind of like what happened with Thor, where like they realized, holy cow, this actor is really funny. We should just let them be funny. And so like we get a lot of really funny Drax stuff in this movie that I really liked.
Yeah.
And I think overall this movie was really funny. They almost too funny. Like it was almost like they did.
I don't think it was too funny. I think it was just supposed to be funny.
A lot of jokes. Like
I
it was
think
like
it was supposed to
jokes. Everyone's making jokes, which was fine. I liked it. But
I like all the movies. Like it was like a comedy movie.
Right. Definitely more lighthearted than like Doctor Strange or some of the other ones. For sure. Who's your least favorite character?
Ego.
How come?
Because he's just so annoying.
That's a good way of putting it. What do you mean? Explain what you mean.
Like, he kills kids.
Yeah, see how
he lies to them.
Yeah.
And he lies to Peter.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, he's like really not smart though. Because then he went ahead and told Peter that it was working.
Yeah.
And then he told Peter that he killed his mom.
Put the cancer
like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
It was working, and he just went ahead and spoiled the whole thing for himself.
And when we get to Infinity War and we talk maybe a little bit about how Peter ruins their chance to defeat Thanos, he reacts exactly the same way in Infinity War when he finds out that Gamora was killed.
Yeah.
So your least favorite character was Ego. I had a hard time with this one. I said Rocket. I understand what Rocket's doing in this movie. He's angry. He's a little frustrated. He's being a jerk. And I really like the arc that he has, especially like him, kind of him and Yondu kind of coming together and realizing that they've got a lot in common. Yondu's got a really interesting arc in this movie too, where he sort of like realizes his mistakes with Peter and whatnot. But I just felt like Rocket was just a little bit too much of a jerk in this movie. But speaking of Rocket, Avi, what was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene is when Rocket's in the woods and he like kills this entire group of guys.
I love that scene.
In like 10 minutes.
Yeah, and he's got like all of these different like booby traps and stuff, and
it was hilarious.
And the one guy's like, "What are you gonna do? You don't have any more toys." And then he like jumps on him and starts punching him in the head.
Yeah.
I think I like that part about Rocket. I really love, and that scene is great. My favorite scene, I put 2 down. We mentioned a little bit Peter's reaction to Ego already, so I'm gonna say my favorite scene is, I called it the arrow scene. The scene when Yondu gets the new fin back.
Oh yeah.
And like the music's playing. It's like Hooked on a Feeling or something.
Yeah, that's like
and
my second favorite scene.
and they're running through the ship, and the arrow's killing all the guys.
Yeah.
And then they blow up the ship. That part is so awesome. Just the visuals are amazing and all of that. So my favorite scene was the quote unquote the arrow scene. What was your least favorite scene?
When Ego does the expansion.
How come?
Just because the blue goo stuff is so weird. And he's just, as I said, annoying. Mm-hmm. So I just really don't like him. Okay. And I really don't like anything he does.
Okay. So that blue expansion scene for you.
Yeah.
I said my least favorite scene was the movie. I just felt got a little long in the middle.
Yes.
There's a lot of different stories going on in this movie. Let me just list a few of the stories that are happening here. You've got Yondu. You've got Gamora and Nebula. You've got Peter and his dad.
You got Drax.
You've got Drax and what's her name? Mantis. So you've got all of these, and the movie does, you've got the stuff with the Sovereign. The movie does a good job with all of these different stories, but man, is it a lot of stories that they try to cover. And I just felt like in the middle of the movie, I remember thinking to myself, man, this is getting a little long here. There's like just a lot happening here. So before we get to ranking for Guardians 2, let's talk post-credits. Avi, there are 5 post-credit scenes in this movie. I had to Google it because I couldn't remember them all. We get teenage Groot in his room when he and Quill are arguing. We get Kraglin trying out the arrow, and it accidentally stabs Drax in the neck.
Yeah.
We get Stan Lee talking to the Watchers, which is the first time that we get an explanation of why Stan Lee keeps popping up in this universe. We get the original Guardians of the Galaxy deciding to come back together, including a cameo from Miley Cyrus. And we get Aisha creating Adam, which is probably a hint towards Adam Warlock, which could be a character in Guardians 3. So those are our post-credit scenes. Here is how our rankings stand as of now. We've got a lot of movies here, so I'll run through them quickly from worst to best. Number 14, Thor: The Dark World. Number 13, The Incredible Hulk. Number 12, Thor. Number 11, Doctor Strange. Number 10, Ant-Man. Number 9, Iron Man. Number 8, Iron Man 3. Number 7, The Avengers. Number 6, Iron Man 2. Number 5, The Avengers: Age of Ultron. Number 4, Captain America: The First Avenger. Number 3, Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 2, Captain America: Winter Soldier. And number 1, Captain America: Civil War. Avi, where would you like to rank, as you're looking at the list, Guardians of the Galaxy?
I would probably put it as number 10.
Above Ant-Man or below Ant-Man?
I'll put it below Ant-Man.
Okay.
Because Cassie's so cute.
Okay, so we're going to put Guardians
of the Galaxy
Volume
2
at number 11, which means that our rankings stand like this as of now. Number 1, Captain America: Civil War, still at the top. Number 2, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Number 3, Guardians of the Galaxy 1. Number 4, Captain America: The First Avenger. Number 5, The Avengers: Age of Ultron. Number 6, Iron Man 2. Number 7, The Avengers. Number 8, Iron Man 3. Number 9, Iron Man. Number 10, Ant-Man. Number 11, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Number 12, Doctor Strange. Number 13, Thor. Number 14, The Incredible Hulk. Number 15, Thor: The Dark World. And our next episode, Avi will be reviewing, ranking, and discussing Spider-Man: Homecoming. Until then, adios, you guys.
Adios.
Have a marvelous day.